Welcome to class. We are adding some weights in our yoga class today. It's going to be awesome. I have a set of 5s and a set of 2s, and you are going to grab whatever weight feels right for you. I recommend, 2 different options, and then also, if you notice at any point during class that you're taking it in your neck, you just feel your neck kind of tightening up, that's your cue to put down that weight, grab the lighter weights, or just go ahead and go with body weight, all right? So let's go ahead and grab your weights and then meet me on your mat in child's pose. Okay, coming into this child's pose, I'm just going to settle hips back down to heels, bring your arms out in front of you, and just find a really relaxed version here where sometimes child's pose, the first one of the day, can feel a little bit intense on your lower back. So if you need to, lift those hips up just a little bit. Other times head doesn't gently reach the floor. If it's hovering a little bit, that's okay. Just take a couple breaths here, relax into the pose. And I want you to put your elbows down, just letting those arms rest. They're going to work plenty today. We're just going to let them rest right now. Take a nice long breath. And then go ahead, if you'd like, and bend your elbows, bringing your hands to prayer behind your back. You might feel a tiny bit more of a stretch in those triceps. You might feel nothing different. Okay, take another breath here. Release that prayer pose version and slowly make your way up to a tabletop. Shoulders over wrists here, hips over knees. And we'll just take a couple cat-cows by dipping your belly down toward the mat, gaze in front. And exhale, round and tuck. Inhale, tailbone lifts. Exhale, press the ground away. Good, take one more. Exhale, round. And then find neutral spine again. So not rounded and not tucked. We'll bring that right hand on your right ear and just lift that right elbow up. And then tap it to your left. Inhale, up, just a gentle opening. Exhale, tap. Take one more. Inhale. Exhale, tap. And then release that right side. Settle in, right shoulder tracking over right wrist here, and then we'll bring left hand to left ear. Inhale, lift, exhale, tap. Inhale, lift, exhale, tap. Good, let's take one more. Inhale, lift, and exhale, release. From here, stepping back to a brief plank. Feet hip distance apart, hands shoulder distance apart, and then we'll lift those hips up and back into your down dog. Take this motion a couple more times if it feels good. Plank into down dog, and as you settle into your down dog, you can totally bend your knees, just opening up through the shoulders a little bit more. Plank, bent knee, down dog. Maybe take one more. If it's feeling good, you're always welcome to take more. And then find your way to your regular downward facing dog, pedaling it out for just a moment here, taking a nice long breath. And then begin walking that dog up to the top of the mat, nice and slow. Bend your knees whenever you want. When you get to the top of the mat, inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Again, taking that a couple more times. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend your knees, stand all the way up, standing mountain pose. And exhale, hands to your heart. Take a breath right here. Shoulders relaxing away from ears, and we'll take a few vinyasas, a few sun salutations. Inhale those arms up and exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. As you exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step your right foot back behind you. Find your low lunge, settle that right knee down. Inhale, your arms up. And exhale, hands come down. Left knee now comes back to meet right. We'll take a little knee chaturanga here, bending your elbows, keeping that upper body really engaged as you lower all the way to the mat. Inhale up to a baby cobra. Pull your heart forward. And exhale, relax down. Tuck your toes and we'll just shift those hips back into a child's pose. Just a breath here. And then you'll find your way into tabletop pose and then into your downward facing dog again. Let's look up at our hands and bring your right foot up between your hands. Set your left knee down. And find your low lunge here, lifting those arms up, pressing hips forward. As you exhale, hands come down, right knee slides back to meet left. And take your knee chaturanga here, just bending your elbows, lowering all the way to the floor. Inhale, pull your heart forward. Hips are settled down on the mat. Pull your shoulders down and away from your ears. And exhale, release down. Shift your hips back into your child's pose. Good, that's a modified version. We'll take a full sun salutation next. If you prefer this modified version, go ahead and take it again. Finding your way to downward facing dog. We'll begin step, walk, or hop, feet up to hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand. And exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale. Lift, lengthen, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step or hop your feet behind you and plank into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. Again, I love to pedal my feet out here. I always have tight calves and Achilles, so pedaling feels nice. You can also just hold and breathe, pressing the floor away. Or that option of bending your knees, connecting your ribs a little more toward your thighs really serves to open the shoulders up, which is perfect for a class like we have today. Take one more breath here. Nice long inhale. Nice slow exhale. Bend your knees as you shift your gaze up to your hands. Step, walk, or hop, feet up to hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand. And exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, one more sun salutation. This one will start with bent knees. Sweep your hands down to the mat and above your head in chair pose. Inhale. And exhale, straighten and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step or hop back. Plank, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Let's look forward to your hands and bring your right foot up between your hands. Now, if it doesn't quite make it, you can just grab it and bring it, or come to your back knee and bring that right foot up, okay? Left heel comes down, and you find your way into a warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, hands plant, left heel lifts, right foot goes back, plank, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Let's look forward up to your hands. Bring your left foot up between your hands. Set your right heel down, find your warrior. Inhale. Exhale, plank, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Couple breaths here. Working those legs, working through the shoulders. What feels good to you here in downward facing dog? And if it doesn't feel good, give child's pose a few breaths. Good, take one more breath here. Generous bend in your knees as you look up to your hands and bring your feet up to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees, sweep your hands down and up. And then exhale, stand. All right, this is the portion of class where we will grab our weights. Join me back at the top of your mat in chair pose. Now, I'm gonna face the camera for just a moment here. You can stay right where you're at. Feet can be hip distance apart for a little more stability, or you can bring them right together in your typical chair pose. All right, so where we're going with this is an overhead press. All right, so weights up above your head. Now you can feel right away if you're like, I wanna switch to different weights. Go ahead and take your time. And then we'll come into your chair pose, settle the weight in your heels, kind of wiggle your toes. And then we're just bending our elbows and lifting it back up for 10, 9, 8, good, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring the weights to your hips, stand up nice and tall, and then we'll step our right foot back behind, finding a crescent lunge. Take your time getting there. Left knee will be bent, right foot is back. We're lifted off that right heel. Settle your hips down. Okay, so we settle into the pose first, and then add weights on once the pose feels stable. All right, arms come up above head, inhale, and then comes down. Lean forward, kick it back. Good. Come on up with the weights. Weights come down to your chest, lean forward, kick it back. That's 2. Good. Weights come up above head, down to your chest, lean forward, kick it back. That's 3. Good. Weights come up and down, lean forward, kick it back. 4. Bring it in. Good. 5. Lean forward, kick it back, and in, lift up. 6. We're just doing 8 of these. Lean forward, kick it back, and up. Lift overhead. 7. Into your chest, lean forward, kick it back. 8. Lift up, weight overhead. Last one, and kick it back. Good job. Weights come into your chest now. All right, lock them in together, then lean over that left leg as you pick your right foot up and find a warrior 3. We'll just hold here, flex through the ball of your right foot, and breathe. Maybe you'll give 5 little pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly bring right foot to meet left. Give a little wiggle and shake. Okay, we have a few more of those overhead shoulder presses in the chair pose. So settle the weight back into your hips. Feel the weight in your heels. Wiggle your toes. Weights come up overhead. And then we're going with bent elbows for 10, 9. Try for that 90 degree. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the weights to your hips, settle in, stand up nice and tall, and we'll just pick that left foot up, bring it way back behind you, finding your crescent lunge. Lower your hips down, back heel is lifted, and then we'll bring weights up overhead, into chest, lean forward, kick it back, back in, lift up, good. Here's 2. Leaning forward, kick it back, in and up, lift up, in, back, in, good. I think this is 4. Just a tricep kick back there, good. Lift up, bring the weights in. Here's 6. Nice, lengthen and lift. Into your chest, lean forward, kick it back, into your chest, lift up. Let's take one more. Lean over, that front leg is on fire. Good. Lift it up, lock those weights into your chest together. Really press them together. Lean in, Now you might take a few little steps to lift that back foot off. Weight in the right, left leg is lifted, and then maybe 5 little pulses for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Slowly release. You can set your weights down, maybe grabbing your lighter weights for this next series, or you can stay with what you've got if you're feeling really spicy. Okay. All right, coming into a warrior 2 here next. So we're just keeping our left foot planted, bringing your right foot back behind you. Let's look for heel to arch alignment here and bend in. We're finding warrior 2 here. Now this time I want you to bring your palms forward, all right? And we're just coming in and straightening and out. In, straighten, out. Good, there's 2. In, out. Bending each time deeper. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, last one, 8. Let's come back into the bend and find a side angle here. Left forearm to left thigh, right arm lengthening up to the sky with that weight in it. If it's too much, weight comes to the hip, or we just put that weight down. Now from right here, I want you just to feel the yoga pose. So lifting your heart up, maybe looking up. Nice job. Take one more breath here. And we're slowly floating back up into that warrior 2, changing it back into a crescent lunge. So we're just dipping that right arm down, picking up that right heel. We'll lock our weights together, and then we'll just take a little bit more tricep work. So pretending you can touch the back of your neck with your weights, and then lifting up. This might be one to just do body weight on, or maybe you're feeling okay. I think that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good job. All right. Weight into chest, and then we'll just pivot around to second side. So right toes face the back of the mat. We first work on that foundation of the yoga pose. So right heel lining up with left arch. That left foot's in at about a 45-degree. Bend in, feel your stability here. Maybe this is your place to work, working your warrior here. If you're ready for a little bit more, weights come out. Palms come forward, and we lift and bring the weights in as we straighten the leg. There's 1, open up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale and exhale, 7, 8. Good job. Weights stay in. We put the bend back in the knee, and then extended side angle. Right forearm to right thigh, left arm lifting. Put your weight down if you'd like. Then we're just rotating that heart up a little bit more, maybe looking up. Good. Take another breath here. Awesome. Slowly lifting back into your warrior 2, and then we'll find our crescent lunge facing the back of the mat. So your left arm just dips down, both arms up above your head, bending the right knee, picking up left heel. Good. Bend in, locking the weights together or setting them down here, and we'll just pretend we can touch the back of the neck. Elbows are really close to your ears. I'm grabbing my ponytail with my weights. How about you? All right, weights up above your head. There's 1, 2, 3. Now I was noticing I was really arching. We want to keep ribs kind of more knit down into your pelvis. So bring it in. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good job. Wide angle. We're just bringing those arms out. Both feet parallel to mat edge, and then we'll bring them to your waist, hinge forward, and fold forward. Let that head and neck just kind of rest. We have one more weighted exercise, and then we'll move on with class. Okay, so nod yes a few times, shake it no a few times. Nice job. All right. You'll maybe switch to your heavier weights for this one. It's a bicep curl, okay? So bending your knees, slowly coming up. Angle your left toes back to the front of the mat. Right toes in at like a 45. And we're finding that side angle here again. And I'm gonna grab my 5, and you could maybe even double up. Your biceps are a bigger muscle. So we're coming into like that side angle version where your left forearm is down to left thigh, and we're just curling it in here. Let's find stability in the pose first. Feel the weight in both feet, and then lift your heart just a little bit. Okay, decide on the weight that works best for you, and we're just doing 10. Here we go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, keep breathing, 2, 1. Good job. Pick up both the weights or whatever weight you were using. We'll pivot to the back of the mat. Coming to the back, right toes facing the back of the mat, bending that knee in. Elbow comes down to your right thigh. Lift that heart up. Pay attention to the yoga of this class, okay? Not just the weights. And then we're just curling it in. Here we go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Drop those weights down. Find your wide angle forward fold. Both feet parallel to mat edge. You might give a little inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold. And then it's nice just to kind of set those weights to the side. We're done with them for this class. And begin walking your hands to the top of the mat. Left toes face the top of the mat. We'll find a low lunge right here. So just dropping down to that right knee. And you might come to your forearms right here, or you might, my body wants me to stay on my wrists today. All right, so name of the game here, just relaxing head, shoulder, jaw. Good. Let's take one more breath here. Nice and slow. We'll switch to second side. So plant your hands. If you came to your forearms, we'll lift off that right knee. So tuck your right toes, lift off, and then slide your left foot back to meet right. Take a vinyasa if you'd like, or just meet me in downward facing dog. Good, let's look up at our hands once we're in downward facing, and we'll bring that right foot up to the outside of right hand. Now again, you guys, that move stresses a lot of people out. You can just come to your knees, bring that foot up, all right? Also, using a chair is nice. We're just lowering to that back knee, and then maybe coming to your elbows. This side says, all right. So crazy how different the sides of my body are. I'm taking 3 or 4 breaths here. Again, let your upper body just be like a wet noodle, just relaxing as much as possible. Nice job. Last breath here. We'll find our hands. Tuck your left toes, lift off that knee, step back. Optional vinyasa, or go right to down dog. And then everybody from down dog will be rolling to our belly. So if you're kind of more toward the top of your mat, you might want to walk your dog back to the back of the mat just a little bit. Roll into your plank, and then with as much control as you can, lower down to your belly. So if that means putting your knees down, just anything but plopping down, okay? At some point, we all kind of go there. All right, from here, coming into a nice Sphinx pose, elbows come in. Pull your heart forward, just your little back bend. For the day, maybe big toes come together, gently press into your big toes, lifting those knees off. Gazing in front. I'm just gonna kind of move my weights out of the way so that I have the side of the mat available for these next poses. All right, so from here, right arm goes out to the side, and then we just set that right shoulder down. Right side of the head comes down. This left hand comes in right under your shoulder and you just rotate, open over to the right. Now, this usually feels like a gentle shoulder stretch for me. If you're feeling something more in your neck, let's come out and have a look at this, or maybe just don't take this pose today. It's not for the neck, it's for the shoulder. I like to keep my feet stacked. Some people really like to bring this top foot off back behind them and add a lot more into the pose, okay? So just be really aware of how your body is feeling, how your neck's doing. Good, slowly release, and we'll take that on second side. Now really letting your breath be your guide too. We're taking that left hand out to the left, letting your left side of your head rest down. Right hand is kind of right by your ribs as you just rotate over to the left. Find your breath. If it's not there, if this is stressing you out in any way, just exit, take child's pose. If you're feeling a nice shoulder stretch, breathe through it. Maybe top leg lifts off, toes come back behind you for a lot more. Good, take one more breath here. And we'll slowly release. While we're on our belly, we've got to do the belly twist here, okay? So slowly lifting head and chest up, we'll take both arms over to the right, both palms down. Bring your right knee up as close to those arms as you can, and then you just open your right arm over like a book, okay? Now the left hand might rest on that right knee to keep it down. Not a big deal if it floats off a little. Just see if you can twist and breathe. To deepen, you would pick up your shoulders, place them down again. That will deepen the pose for these last two breaths. And we'll slowly rotate back around, finding that on second side. So bringing your left arm out to the left, tuck your right arm under it. Both palms are down. Then we'll bring our left knee up. And then use your momentum there and kind of take your left arm over to the right, letting those shoulders settle down as much as they can. That makes my knee lift, and that's okay. Just use your right hand, gentle pressure on it to keep it down as much as your body permits. I have a bit of a tender neck today, so I'm just keeping my gaze up at the ceiling, but further deepening is gazing over those left fingertips. Yeah, I'm not loving that. 2 or 3 more breaths here. You might pick your shoulder blades up, release them in. Good, relax. And then let's just continue rolling onto our back. Just roll onto your back. You'll recenter yourself on your mat. Find a modified bridge pose. Your feet are about hip distance apart, arms down by your sides, and you'll just lift your pelvis up, roll your shoulders under, lift it a little higher. Take a breath here, and then as you come down, I want you to think one vertebrae at a time. So at some point, you'll kind of tuck your tailbone under. I love doing this because that helps more of the fullness of your spine settle in on the mat when you're in Savasana. So that's what's up next. You're welcome to stay here with your knees bent if you have kind of a tender lower back. Or whenever you're ready, we'll just draw your feet out to the very outer edges of the mat. Arms down by your sides, palms up. Let's lift your shoulders up again, place them down. And we'll be here for a minute or so, just letting your body melt into the mat. Letting your mind float off. Enjoy. Okay, pause here and stay longer if you can. If you're ready to exit this pose, start by wiggling your fingers and toes. Then lengthen arms up above your head, point your toes. And gently roll to your side in the fetal position for a few breaths. And slowly press your way up into a seated position. Easy pose or any comfortable seat as we draw our hands into heart, lengthen your spine up. And let's just take right ear down toward right shoulder. And back up. And left ear down toward left shoulder. And back up. I hope you enjoyed this class today. If you do, like, comment, share. Really appreciate it. Thanks again for practicing with me. Namaste.